I wish I could say I was the first person to ever be part of providing an entangled net for impact noise control, but the truth is it started well before I ever got into it. I got into it in 1996 when there was about 2 truckloads of entangled nets sold for multifamily noise control annually. Today, there's probably 2 truckloads a day sold for apartment and condominium construction. An entangled net product became the preferred method of controlling impact noise because it does the best job of controlling the first line of defense in vibration noise control, and that is eliminating touching or creating a very open void space between a finished floor and a subfloor. The original products came out of the drainage industry. That exact same product was used as the way of creating space from finished floors to subfloors. Since we were so intimately involved with the installers of the product while becoming involved in the manufacturing of the material, we became knowledgeable about what needed to be improved to change it from a drainage device used for sound control applications to a sound control product geared for pumping gypsum concrete on top of it. Concrete was something we didn't want to pass through the separation fabric that we're using. Drainage, we wanted the water to pass through extremely easily. 2 different types of material were required, and it took until 2003 when Keene Building Products innovated the first moisture control fabric for use in a sound control product with an entangled net. When you look at how much moisture passes through, the water is a much more liquid than what we're pumping when we put gypsum concrete on top of it. So we needed something that could hold a density of virtually a pancake batter. I'm going to demonstrate what it looks like to pour water over top of a fabric that has no moisture resistance whatsoever. You can see it just passes right directly through. We found what's called in the industry a point-bonded fabric. This point-bonded fabric is almost film-like in its design. And how it handles moisture is one where it beads up. Yet, when air is passed through it, you can see that it quite easily moves whatever's behind it. Keene looked for a way of enhancing the performance of a 1/4-inch sound mat. We found a high-loft fabric, which is a highly compressible, cotton-like material, and placed it at the bottom of our entangled net materials. That product enhanced the decibels that pass through the sound product by 5 to 7 dB. The high-loft fabric that we laminate to the bottom of our entangled net is loaded up with traditional 1-inch to 1.5-inch gypsum concrete. The load compresses the high-loft fabric into the interstices of our large filaments, creating a mat that's exactly the same thickness as when it started without the high-loft fabric. Keene makes materials in 1/8-inch, 1/4-inch, 4/10 of an inch, and 3/4-inch thicknesses. We enhance them with muffling technology, MT, in all 4 versions. Quiet Qurl with muffling technology can make 1/4-inch mat perform like 3/4-inch mat from our competition. Secondary to high performance, we want to provide as thin a profile system as possible. Gypsum concrete's a piece of that. The minimum thickness when we started was 1 inch of gypsum. Keene figured out that if we incorporate fiberglass into our sound mat, we can enforce the tensile side of the gypsum, strengthening it by 15 to 20%. After we figured out that fiberglass was a strength enhancement, we married it up with our moisture control fabric and developed a 2-ply system that provided moisture control and fiberglass, reinforcing the gypsum and keeping the moisture out all in one separation fabric. One of the things that our contractors told us was that if it didn't lay flat, it didn't work. If it didn't lay flat, they had trouble pumping gypsum on top of it and creating a monolithic surface. Our lay flat technology was created by putting hinges into our material. The hinges make the sound mat lay flat in order to pump a very uniform thickness of gypsum on top of it. The value that Keene Building Products has given to the industry is the alternatives that contractors and developers want. We've provided the industry with moisture control fabrics that control the amount of moisture that's allowed to pass through the separation fabric. We've enhanced the performance of the sound control product by adding a high loft fabric to the bottom that allows 1/4 inch mat to perform like 3/4 inch mat. We've strengthened the gypsum concrete by adding fiberglass to the bottom of the slab in order to enhance tensile strength. All those alternatives are things that developers, architects, and contractors can use to lower the cost and enhance the performance of the sound control systems that people buying condos and renting apartments want today.